What's going on, people? What's going on, people? What's going on? It is Wednesday, so you already know it is the Heavy Hitters Live. Know we caught a couple minutes late and do a little catching up here, man, as I'm your host, K Styles, aka the Sixth Man, to my stage. Well, your screen right. You know him as the Senator, Mad Mike Sports in the building.
Yeah, yay.
And right below the screen, you know him as the Minister, Jew. Talk sports. What's happening?
What's going on, people?
Hey man, nothing much, man. Like you said, man, we got a short week coming up here. We're gonna give y'all some Atlanta Falcons talk, Atlanta Falcons discussion, three keys, X factors, and our thoughts on the games, on the game's outcome and possibilities. So, man, before we get started, man, let's go ahead and give a shout out to the people that's in the chat. Like I said, man, we doing it old school this week. Definitely give our condolences to Don. Like I said, he's had a family issue. So y'all make sure you keep him in your prayers. But we got Sherman Woods, Silk Legacy, Tony Hall, Keyshawn Blad, John St. Clair, ATL Leo, Raymond Elder, Michael Walker, Speaking Peace, Terry Lloyd,
Oh
Sonia.
yeah.
And D Coleman in the building, man. So, fellas, let's go ahead and get right into it, man. Um, since it's just gonna be the three of us, man. Wow. How are y'all? What are y'all thoughts going into this game after that win on Monday night?
Go ahead and kick us off, Mike.
Oh man. It's kind of interesting for me. I'm s- I think this is like I don't think this is as big of a game. It's very important to get string together, big wins, and I think that definitely goes into that. Um, goes into that. But as far as the coaching staff is concerned, it's like I think the coaching staff are doing a very good job of kind of setting a culture of tough football, solid defense. We're going to get at the quarterback. We're going to hit guys. I'm loving what I'm seeing from guys like Caden Ellis. We're finally using him the way he needs to be utilized. I love what they're doing at, you know, Jeff Olbrick, Raheem, Jerry Gray. Those guys are kind of putting their minds together and doing a very good job defensively. So like I don't think like I would love to kick Kyle Shanahan's ass. All right, this I'm just being honest. I don't like dude. I don't think no a lot of Falcons fans feel that same feel the exact same way. But like I'm satisfied. All right, I'm satisfied. Am I uh I'm satisfied from what I've seen from the coaching staff. You can see the growth. And that's all I'm concerned about. I just want to see growth. And defensively, they getting after it. Uh, you seeing guys like Sam Roberts. Everybody been talking about him, been raving about him. Even his teammates have been raving about him. So like you can see what they're thinking, the things that they're doing. Um, I like it, but I would just love, especially with Fred Warner being out. Um, and speedy recovery for him. That was a horrific uh injury him, but like we have to get these types of wins. We got to string together wins and important wins. But I'm satisfied. I've seen enough. like continue to build off of it. But I've seen enough to say, all right, I see that the coaching staff is improving. I've seen the improve. I've seen the improvement with the young stars. Like I saw a couple of points during the game where Jalen Walker, everybody was like, Jalen Walker doesn't have a bunch of numbers. Well, I don't really care about numbers. I care about the impact. I saw a couple plays during the game where, you know, uh, Josh Allen, he was under pressure and, you know, Pierce, Walker, those guys was in his face and they kind of hurried up a couple things, hurried up a couple plays doing it. So I'm seeing the growth in these guys. I'm satisfied. Like I said, I'm satisfied.
Okay, okay. What about you, Jew, man? What you got on this?
Yeah, I want to pick up where Mad Mike left off. First off, good evening, everybody. Um, I totally agree with what Mike said. I mean, when it comes to the coaching staff, I like what I'm seeing. The only thing that I will say is I want to see this same game plan that we had this last game implemented in every game that we play. So I really feel like that style of blitzing and being in an attack mode, I really feel like if we would have approached that Carolina game the same way, I don't think that Bryce Young would have been able to do what he did in that game. I don't think it would have been to run the ball, even though we turned the ball over and things of that nature. We didn't run the football in that Carolina game. I just want the Falcons to adopt, once you have that identity, stick to it week in and week out. So I don't want them to go away from the game plan we saw last week. It don't have to be the same exact game plan week in and week out. But as far as being in attack mode, as far as blitzing, how we seen that high pressure rate they talked about in the second half, some we blitz like 70 some percent of the times on dropbacks for Josh Allen. If you can do that to Josh Allen, just imagine doing that to a mediocre quarterback. And Brock Purdy and Mac Jones, neither one of those guys are Josh Allen. They're not the athlete he is. They're not the quarterback that he is. So if we can rattle him, I feel like we could do the same thing against San Fran. So I really feel like we should come in with the same game plan. I don't believe that the 49ers wide receivers are special. I really feel like we could have that same game plan to blitz and play man coverage across the board. They don't really have receivers like that bona fide number one that's going to get open like a Jamar Chase or a Jettis. They don't have a wide receiver like that. Now they do have George Kittle that might come back this week, but outside of George Kittle, Parasol, from my understanding, is still hurt. So, Christian McCaffrey, we know everything runs through that running game. So in this game, it's going to be important that we stop the run. But I want to see that aggressive attacking mindset every single game. On the offensive side of the ball, what's special about this team is we haven't even clicked on all cylinders. Like I've been seeing a lot of different things where they're talking about we need a number two wide receiver. I'm like, everybody forgets Mooney was balling last year. Dude had almost 1,000 yards receiving. He just got to get healthy. In this last game, we didn't even play Ray Ray McLeod, and we were balling on offense. So this is a very deep team. I mean, we got guys that are on the bench that's not even dressing in these games that could actually play. Chris Blair, I seen him in the last game. He was on the sideline. Both him and McLeod were not even dressed out. So we have enough weapons on this team, and I think that's what makes this team special. And I'll leave it at this case style. When he talks about Sam Roberts, he's a guy that we was on the sideline a week ago, not dressed out, or 2 weeks ago, not dressed out. And then in this last game, they elevated him. So it just shows we got a lot of talent on this game. We haven't seen guys like Kobe Bryant, who's been on the sideline. So I mean, we just have so many different weapons that we can throw out there at any time, and for special game plans when they input guys. So I really feel like this team is not even like necessarily clicking necessarily on all cylinders, especially on offense, and we're still balling. So if we start hitting on all cylinders and we can get guys back healthy, like a Troy Anderson who's not playing, like a Clark Phillips, we still haven't seen the best of this team, and that's the scary part. We the number one defense, and we haven't even seen our full roster healthy. So I just can imagine what the offense and the defense is going to look like if we finally get completely healthy.
Mm, 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 mm. So Yeah, so pretty much like I said, my thought going into this week myself, like you said, that definitely was a good showing. That was a complete team win. The main thing that I do say about it is, are we going to have the continuous success and not just be a one-off team, especially when a one-off win like that. Um, like you said, defense did what it had to do. The defense was pretty much dominant the whole game. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, like you said, everybody contributed to that win against Buffalo. But like you said, man, if you want to make a run for the playoffs, if you want to be taken serious in this season, you have to string consecutive wins together. And hope, and like I said, we're being hopeful that the Buffalo game was a launching pad for this team to go on a good run. Just want to make sure y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have my mic hanging off my hair this time, so yeah, so we good. Um, so we get a couple of these comments in here, and then we're gonna get straight into the keys. Um, Southside here said he feels very good going into San Fran, a 4-2 team, and going out with another dub. Okay, we got the confidence. Quintavious asks, did we beat the 49ers with less talent and with a coaching staff we had last time we played the 49ers? Yeah, we did.
Yep.
I think we're like 2-1 or 3-1 against the 49ers since 2017, if I remember.
Yeah, we
Um,
pretty much have his number ever since he left the team, Shanahan.
Raven here said Josh Allen was the best quarterback that we were going to see this entire season. Um, I had a question, I lost it, but it's all good. So let's go ahead and get right into it, man. Let's go ahead and get right into these keys, man. So, go ahead, you man. Go ahead and run point on this, man. What are some of these keys that you're looking for the Falcons to implement in this game against San Francisco?
So the first key to victory for this game is going to be stop Christian McCaffrey. We got to make teams one dimensional. You guys know that I'm big. I always talk about the trenches, the trenches, the trenches. If you can stop a team and make them one dimensional, I don't care who you're talking about. It makes it that much harder on the quarterback. It makes it that much harder on the offensive line. So it's going to be important that we get off to a fast start. But stopping Christian McCaffrey is, we know Kyle Shanahan, what he wants to do. He's just like his father, Mike Shanahan. If you think about those Denver days, when they won back-to-back Super Bowl with Terrell Davis, with guys like Shannon Sharp, they want to run the ball, play action pass. So we know what we got to do in this game. Everything revolves around that Shanahan running game. If you can stop the running game, you'll be able to stifle their offense. Now, Shanahan is one of those guys that is a really good coordinator and head coach. He draws it up really well. One of the best coordinators in the game, but I really feel like this Atlanta Falcons offense, man, is playing on a string. And like I said, if we stop their run, if we can cut that run off, I don't trust Mac Jones. I don't trust Brock Purdy. And to be honest, I really don't think that they have a lot of weapons there in San Fran. Like I said, everything is predicated off of what Shanahan draws up because they're not really doing anything special when you talk about having like those elite type guys on the outside. They lost a lot of their weapons. Debo Samuel's no longer there. Pearsall's hurt. So you're really focusing on Kittle. They got Kendrick Bourne, who's been playing really well. They picked him up. He's been balling for the last 2 weeks. But you put AJ Terrell on him, he gonna strap him up. That's gonna be lockdown. We seen what he did against Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman couldn't do anything against AJ. So, like I said, I really think we can go man on man, man up across the board and just bring pressure. Apply that pressure on the run game. Don't let them get, those chunks on first and second down where it's third and short, make it third and long situations. Because I really feel like in the last game, what's kind of being overlooked is Buffalo had a ton of penalties in the last game, and they ended up in a lot of third and long situations, and that's how we were able to pressure Josh Allen, where either he had to throw the ball short of the sticks and then everybody rallied to the football, or he was throwing some ill-advised passes in tight windows and stuff like that. So I feel like this game plan should be very similar to what we seen last week because I don't trust the quarterbacks of San Fran. I really don't think they're gonna be able to escape pressure. So
Yeah.
if we shut that run game off, it's gonna be a long night.
All right, man. Mike, what you got, man?
Good God Almighty. Uh, I think I just think the Falcons are a more talented team than Frisco. I think the only concern, if you want to call it that, is like our coaching staff is still trying to become a respected staff like the 49ers. I mean, you got two head coaches on one staff with Robert Salah and Shanahan. Both of the guys are obviously uh, champions in their own right. They are, you know, they are. Just look at their resume. I mean, their resume speaks for itself. We aren't there yet. Like I said, I am satisfied. Do I want our team to continue to get better? Absolutely. But I like what we're doing. I like what we're doing. I've seen enough to kind of give these guys a break in regards to how we're developing our talent. I love what I'm seeing from young guys like Walker, Pierce, Xavier Watts has been a pleasant surprise for me. He looks like a veteran out there. Like you would never know this guy's a young rookie the way he's playing. Watts has just been out of his freaking mind. And I'm very surprised by his maturity as a young. He just doesn't make mistakes. That's the crazy part about it. He doesn't make mistakes. That's hard for a guy in the secondary. He just doesn't make mistakes. And I think that's the thing with him. That was just a great find by not only everybody like to give um Terry Fontenot a lot of, but like this is Kyle Smith. He's a very strong part of it. Jerry Gray is a strong part of finding these guys in the secondary. And it's like, look, we all agree that this is the player that we want. Like all of these guys are part of the development and the recruitment of the players that we're seeing. Um, and I like it. So, and like what I'm most focused on in this game is just the coaching. I just want to see if we can hang with a Kyle Shanahan. I want to see if we can hang with a Robert Salah. I want to see that because yeah, they have Warner gone. He will be out for the remainder of the year. Um, you just never know what these guys have under their sleeves as far as the coaching is concerned. We want to see how good these guys are. It's Jeff Olbrich who we think he is. It's Kyle Shanahan. We already know what he is, but is a is Zach Robinson figuring things out. So that's my thing. That's the thing that I'm going to be focused on. So the key for me in this game obviously is quarter, but I want to see the continuous growth from our play callers. I want to see the continuous growth. Keep like you said um with Jeff Olbrich. I just want to see keep your foot on their neck. You say it all the time. Keep your foot on their neck. Don't let up. I want to see them keep getting after it. We saw it. I don't want to see you playing off coverage like you did in the first quarter of the game. Like, no, you saw it wasn't working. Y'all said, no, this ain't working. We need to stay aggressive. And you kept it up. So I want to see that they're not satisfied. Like, no, just because look, just because we had one good game, no, I want to string together. I want to dominate. That's what I'm focused on for that. I want to see the mentality of our coaching staff shine through now.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, like you said, pretty much kind of the sentiments that I have is like I said, can you carry it over to this game? Um, my biggest thing that I'm looking for in this game, and like I said, definitely shout out to the 61 people that's in here right now. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the Heavy Hitters Live. Um, the biggest thing I'm looking for in this game is um we have to have offensively 4 quarters of football. Now, like you said, the defense against Buffalo did what it needed to do. It prevented, Josh Allen really from taking over and stuff like that. But what I want to see is I want to see this offense have 4 quarters of football. Like you said, I don't like you said, if you got points on the board, you gotta take those. Like you said, that's why you got a field goal kicker. If he miss it, he miss it. If he makes it, he makes it. But the thing about it is we can't be relying on Felipe Franks running 1 yard, what like I said, 1 yard powers, the fake ass tush push. We can't be doing that. Touchdowns, touchdowns is definitely, like you said. The thing is, the offense is going to have to put more of an effort for 4 quarters. That's all I'm gonna just say on that, man. Like you said, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, as Drew always said, man, you got to stick with the identity. Bijan Tyler is the engine of this offense. Run it through these dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Get that play action going. And when you get in the red zone, you got to score touchdowns. That's all I got to say on that, man. I see a couple people in here is talking about Pitts. That hopefully Pitts is going to have a good game. Um, Ghost
Piss
Peppers.
was not enough. Ghost peppers. That's not true at all.
So now,
That
well,
is
let me
so
let me let
not
me let me
true.
get this. Let me get this.
Go
So
ahead.
the question is, Pitts was a non-factor against Buffalo. Actually, Kyle Pitts was a huge factor against Buffalo. Like I say, it didn't show up in the scoreboard. It didn't show up in the stat sheets. But a lot of those key runs that we had, he was blocking the backside. He was
Mm-hmm.
helping spring in some of those runs. And if you paid attention to a lot of those passes that were completed to Drake London, that were completed to a lot of these guys, he drew coverage towards him to help guys get open. So, like I said,
Exactly.
the thing is
Doesn't
when
always show up in the normal in the
a
numbers.
lot, yeah, like I said, a lot of times you gotta stop looking at, like I said, you can look at the numbers and you can say that, but the thing is, if you don't pay attention to what's actually going on the field. The thing about it was Buffalo did they damnedest to make sure Kyle Pitts was not going to beat them. This is why Drake London had so many opportunities to catch the football. They were not going to let Kyle Pitts beat them, especially with Mike
Mm-hmm.
Milano being out. They overcompensated that. Let me use for an example. The Drake London touchdown, the one that everybody talks about, the Space Jam stretch. Go back and look at that touchdown. The safety saw Kyle Pitts running the air route and literally bit on the Kyle Pitts to
Yeah.
open it up for Drake London.
Even that big run with Bijan Robinson, where he broke like 3 or 4 tackles. If you look back at that, Pitts is actually faking that he's running a screen, and Bijan, and so a lot of the things that they're doing with Kyle Pitts is drawing the attention away from the guys, and it's helping a Bijan Robinson and Drake London get more touches and get more big plays. So a lot of stuff you're seeing with Kyle Pitts, he knows this. A lot of times his numbers are not going to say it. But if you
Right.
look at those plays, he's a massive and major part of what this offense is doing. Because defenses they don't want him to be.
But also look at it like this. Bijan Robinson had 238 all-purpose yards. If Bijan going off, you get about Bijan.
Right.
I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that notion right there. Jew, what you think about that comment itself?
I agree with what you're saying. I mean, only thing I want to add is like when it comes to Pitts, it goes back to what I've been saying for the last couple of years. I mean, we gotta, pick our poison. At the end of the day, if Bijan we want him to have 20 to 25 touches. And Drake last game had 16 targets and caught 10 of them. I mean, everybody can't have 10 plus targets in the game. You only get so many possessions. You know what I'm saying? And we
Yes.
scored
Right.
scoring touchdowns in this last game. So it's like, I understand people want to see Pitts get the ball, but the likelihood of you having Drake go off, Bijan go off, Tyler go off, Pitts go in the same game, likelihood of that is not happening. And to be honest, if that is happening, that means you're in a shootout. And I don't like shootouts because that means it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
So our identity is not to just throw the ball all over the place. Our identity is a run first team. So us being a run first team, that's why I keep saying it's no need for another wide receiver. I've been saying that a lot lately. We need another wide receiver for what? Pitts, like you said, Pitts is not even getting his enough targets. So if you add another good wide receiver, like we add a guy dang on Calvin Ridley or whoever, you got it's the chances, the likelihood of you having everybody getting 10 plus targets in a game is not, the likelihood isn't high based off of the style of offense we're running. We're not running a run and shoot, or we're not running like a offense where you're going 4 or 5 wides or 3 wides consistently. Most of the time, we're in the pistol and we need big formations where there are multiple tight ends on the field, multiple running backs on the field. So the chances of, us seeing that in a game is slim to none. What we're going to end up having is what we've seen in this game. There's gonna be some games where Pitts go off. There's gonna be some games when Drake go off. There's gonna be some games when Bijan and Tyler, do their thing. But the likelihood of all of those guys going off in the same game is not going to happen. Like you'll see Pitts get a clutch catch here and there, but it's going to be some games where he probably get 10 plus targets. And we've seen it early in the year. What were they saying early in the year about Drake London? He's not doing anything. He doesn't have any targets to the point where I just went and looked up Drake's numbers the other day. I was supposed to be doing a video, but I'll just share this live with you guys. I'm like, Drake is top 10 in receiving yards right now. What are we talking about? Like everybody's saying he's
Mhm.
not a number one wide receiver. He's not doing anything. It's like, bro, if you got a Bijan Robinson on your team that's transcended, if you got all of these guys on your team, that's why I keep saying we have too many weapons. I love it, but I think we want to see these type of, fantasy football type numbers. But what we got
Yes.
to understand in fantasy football, guess what? I don't have the whole Falcons roster on my fantasy football team. I have different guys from each team. This Falcons team, the chances of all of those guys getting you 30 points in a one Sunday is not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So we got to learn how to be content in winning. Do we want to win or do we just want to look good? We got to make our mind up. But go look up Pitts numbers. Last time I looked at Pitts numbers, he was top 10 as well in receiving yards and things of that nature. I don't know if he's still there, but before last game, he was in the top 10. And let's mind you, these guys are top 10 like Drake London, and he's played one less game than a lot of these guys because we've only
Yeah.
played 5 games. Most teams played 6 games already. We had the early bye. So really, London's doing really well to be top 10 as far as receiving yards, being a one game less than a lot of these guys.
Um, Raymond here said, I done seen enough shootouts while Matt Ryan was here. I'm good.
Nah, that's true.
Now that is a fact right there.
I
That's what
don't
I
mind
think.
a 29, a 24 to 21 game. I don't mind a 17-14 game.
Exactly. Like John here said, yeah, you go with the hot hand. Drake was cooking.
You got to. They couldn't stop them. Once you find that matchup, you got to keep going to the high hand. You can't, and that's what they did. They rode the high hand. When Bijan hot, when he cooking, like I said, Drake gonna get his game. I mean, Pitts gonna get his opportunity. It might be this Sunday because guess what? No Fred Warner. Guess what? The middle of the field wide open. Go to work.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Um, so we already talked about the keys. So let's get into some players to kind of watch. Um, I know we talk about Bijan Robinson. I know he's kind of the main guy to watch. Is there any kind of unsung player that you think the people need to watch out for? Mike, what you got on that, man? Is there any kind of unsung player you looking for?
Ooh, I, mm, it's kind of difficult because um, I'm actually kind of impressed by our offensive line, to be honest. Like, I don't think anybody's giving this guy any type of attention, respect, love at all. But I'm kind of impressed with what I've seen from our center Ryan Nelson. Like nobody talked about Drew Dalman all year long. Like when you got your center that nobody's talking about, that's always a great thing. He's not giving up a bunch of sacks, pressures. Like he's just there. That's what you want in your offensive lineman. Your offensive linemen aren't being talked about. You know they're doing their thing. And the thing about this, we're doing this with backups, man. Like these guys were backup last year. Wilkinson, like this dude was a journeyman offensive lineman. Like this dude was a backup center and Ryan Nelson. Like nobody's giving him like he played like this dude like it's almost like we don't even need Drew Dalman. Nobody cares about Drew Dalman no more. All I hear from Drew Dalman, yeah, we overpaid for him. But like, and that's the funny thing about it. It's like when you have that, I think Wilkerson, him doing his thing. But I'm very impressed with what I've seen from Ryan Nielsen, man. Like I love it. He like I said, he's getting our offense. You can't even tell that we're missing one of our better run blockers in the running game with Drew Dalman last year because like Bijan is doing his thing, Tyler's doing his
Jerome, shut
thing.
the hell up. Jerome, shut up. He talking about they talk about Drew Dalman, all right.
I
He's a
I
human.
know I hear it. My Chicago friend telling me, boy, they mad about Drew Dalman, but they just tell you the great coaching that we had.
Yeah,
Like we can't even.
Dwayne
Mm-mm.
Leffert is one of the best O line coaches in the game right now.
Mm-hmm. So I'm like I said, I am like Drew, Ryan Nielsen, our offensive line. Those guys have done a great job. So my thing is, I like I want to see, I want to continue to see what Ryan Nielsen he does, man. I'm very impressed with what he's done in that offensive line and that big fat animal. uh uh
Bergeron.
Bergeron. Good God Almighty, that dude got anger problems, and I love it.
He's a Canadian hockey player. What
That dude
what
got
do we
anger
expect?
problems. Like he got a lot of anger problems. So like for me, obviously with Ryan Nielsen, but Bergeron is another one of those guys that like I said, I'm very impressed about what I've seen from him. Nielsen has been, like I said, that it seems every time I look at Bergeron, he's always in the middle of a dust up, like falling on somebody that may have dropped in front of him. Like he just always looked like he ready to fight. He all Bergeron look like he's already ready to fight. And that's the type of goddamn guy I like. I love to see that.
That makes sense. Let's get a couple more of these comments in here. Um, Terry Mitchell here said Falcon fans always just wanted the Falcons to be consistent winners as a team for decades. That's a fact right there. Said the Bears fans are mad about Drew Dalman and Grady Jarrett. Speaking of that, how do y'all feel about the young boys on the defensive line right
I mean, they doing their thing. Okay, like you know how long I've had my channel. I've been preaching the trenches from day one. And what I like about this defense is I've been saying for the longest time as well, strength in numbers. I went and looked up like who's leading us in sacks. Zach Harrison is leading this Falcons team in sacks. Nobody had that in the cards for this team that Zach Harrison will be leading us in sacks. But what that means is I think we got like 14 to 15 sacks. But guess what? Every single player got like a half a sack, 2 sacks, 3 sacks. Well, if you got it coming like that, where you rotating them guys and everybody getting in on the party, everybody getting to the quarterback and having a good time. Hey, at the end of the day, I remember we were talking about it prior to the season, like which one of these guys gonna lead. We don't even got an edge guy that's leading us right now, and that's what I love to see. The interior guys is handling their business. Zach Harrison is a guy that moves up and down all over the line. But like I said, when you got 10 different guys that can go out there and attack the quarterback, you can't key in on one guy. You know, over the offseason, I know we were saying, like, man, we need that one dominant, Max Crosby. We need to make that one trade to get that one dominant guy. But how many times have we said, I would rather have a gang of guys that can get me between 7 and 8 sacks in the season than have that one guy that's going to get me 20 sacks? Because look at the San Francisco 49ers right now. Bosa went down. Think about if Max Crosby goes down for the Raiders. Think about all these teams that had that one pass rusher. It's like that one guy goes down. Miles Garrett, knock on wood. I'm not wishing injury on none of these guys, but he goes down for the Cleveland Browns. They don't have another guy that can step up and fill that void. The Falcons, we have one guy go down. I heard that they said that Jalen Walker has a groin injury. If he can't play this week, I'm not like, oh man, hold my breath. But I know we still got James Pierce. We still got Zach Harrison. We still got Leonard Floyd. The list goes on and on. We still got Dorless, who hardly played last game. We got Roberts that can go get the quarterback. We got Onyemata. We got Ruka Rowe. You know what I'm saying? We got so many different guys. It's like we got a whole roster of guys where it's like when you watching film on the Falcons, you can't key in on one guy. We got to stop him because all of these guys are playing well. You got Caden Ellis, who's dang near, he's a pass rusher as well. So it's like you can't key in on this Falcons team. You can't narrow it down to one guy. So that's what I'm loving about this team. Is like you getting it from everywhere. So it's no way that you can kind of narrow it down to like, dang, we got to focus on this one person because there's so many different guys with so many different skill sets. So I'm loving what I'm seeing, out of this defense, and for all of those people that got on Terry Fontenot for going and trading up in the draft. Look at them now. You got the number one defense. Can't nobody say nothing. Everybody said we were dumb for reaching, trading back up, losing our first round pick from last year. I don't think nothing can be said now because I don't think nobody had in the cards that the Falcons would be a top five defense. I know I did it. I said, yeah, they'll probably be middle of the pack, 15. We can get over to 15. I'm good. You're sitting at number one. Ain't nobody say nothing. Like Terry Fontenot is looking at everybody like, now what? And this Falcons defense is looking at everybody like, now what? So I love what I'm seeing, man. I love what I'm seeing.
Yeah, like you said, the Sam Roberts thing, like you said, it threw me off guard because, like I said, I forgot about that because, like you said, he was he was in street clothes on the bench last week, so I didn't see that coming. Um, I think they said that Root leads the league in pressures in the interior. So you're
Yeah.
definitely seeing the improvement in that game. Hey, Arnold Ebiketie actually held on to some tackles last game. Hopefully, we get that streak up. Um, let's see.
Before you move on, K Styles, I can't forget what's the kid that's hurt from Washington that we got that haven't really played with the knee injuries.
Braylon Trice.
Ellen Trice. You see what I'm saying? You see how many guys we got? I can't even remember all the guys because we have so many that it's like, bro, these guys, he ain't even on the field. He ain't even touched the field yet. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like, man, we just stacked this deck so deep that it's like, if we do have an injury, ain't no worry. Plug and play. Go. Plug and play. Like you said, we was like, who number 99? Plug and play. This dude out
I
there
had
making
no
plays.
idea who he was,
that's
and
one
I
of those.
wasn't alone on that one.
Like you said, that's one of those. Get your ass out there and do something.
Look and throw Graham in there as well. He's Taquan Graham. He's another guy coming back. I heard that he practiced today, full participant. So look, you got plenty of guys that you can throw out there.
Yes, sir. Ultra Shadow said that I think Troy Anderson. I think he might be limited practice this week.
Look, we got a
And
lot of athletes, a lot of players, and a lot of athletes we have not played on the defensive side of the ball.
And what's crazy about it is these guys are starting caliber guys. These are not like guys we just saying like, oh, no, Troy Anderson can start on a lot of teams. We don't know
Mm-hmm.
what Braylon Trice is, but if he comes out and does what he did in college, then look, he might be a starting caliber. That's why I said this. What I like about this team is not a ton of drop off. When you take somebody out of the game, it's not like, oh, we've been to see huge drop off. Prime example is look at the last game we just had. Crucial interception. Two guys that are considered backups. Zach Harrison tips the ball. Who's waiting right there to, off the carom to catch it? D'Angelo Malone, who's technically a special teams player, but look, he's in the game and he's making plays. That's what I'm saying. You're not seeing that drop off where it's like, dang, if somebody get hurt. Trust me, there's a huge drop off from Joey Bosa to whoever's filling his shoes right now in San Francisco. I'm telling you right now, they ain't got another Joey
Yeah.
Bosa they can throw out there.
that is true. That is true. So 45 minutes into the show. Like you said, man, I'll let you go ahead and start throwing your questions in here. Um, Definitely questions are very important to the show because what it does is gives context and it gives content to the fellas on the panel. So, Mike, I think this question is for you. Are you guys worried about special teams, or should that be a major concern going forward?
I ain't answering that. That's your question, Kev.
He said, "Your name, mother."
I'm
You know
not
what?
answering that. That is your expertise. I am not an expertise in special teams.
Well, since you so gladly put it that way, it's going to be a little bit of a concern. Like I said, man, Parker done missed another field goal. Well, he got a field goal blocked this week. Um, like you said, that just goes back to what I talked about as far as consistency. Parker hasn't he hasn't put a back to back game good kicking performances since he's been here.
Yeah.
So that is a concern in itself. But as far as kick coverage, Bradley Pinion kind of had a bad punt too. um the ebb and flows of it is gonna go in and out. But the thing about it is if you're scoring touchdowns, your special teams ain't got your special team. You got to worry about special teams if you're scoring touchdowns. And I think that's the universal language on that. Y'all probably would agree if I say that.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I think the return is gonna be returned, but I think punting has been pretty consistent for us all year. On top of it, like I said, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied from what I'm seeing so far. But we gotta do them dang on kickers. Oh, good God Almighty! I'm always concerned about our kickers and our kicking game.
It
But
seems like it's just been a bad year for kicker. It's just been a
kickers
bad couple of
in
years for
college,
kickers.
NFL, it's just been a bad year for kickers.
Um. All right. So D Coleman got a question here. Um. Does the game plan change whether it be for Matt Jones or Brock Purdy? Drew, you want to hit that one up?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I don't think that the game plan changes. That's what I was saying, like with Jeff Ulbrich. I just want these guys to be aggressive. Like, I don't care if it was Lamar Jackson playing. If your game is to blitz, you blitz. Period. That's what we do. That's who we are, and that's why I want to see this Falcons team get to. And that's why I'm going to be watching this team very closely and this coaching staff. When I said that we were going to be on their back all season long, like they say, get
Mhm.
that monkey off your back. We're going to be we on these coaches' neck because I just want to see them stick to their guns. What I don't want to see in this game is like what Mike was talking about. We're gonna dumb the game plan down because this quarterback is not that good. No, go out there and destroy them. Because they don't have a lot of guys out there that's injured, injured and stuff like that. I want it to look like they got guys injured. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying at the end of the day, because they're, Warner's not playing, Bosa's not playing, I want that score to look like it. Period. I don't want to,
Yeah.
because if this was the Falcons and the roles were reversed, nobody gave the Falcons excuses when we had guys injured. You think if Bijan was hurt or Penix was hurt, we may be down Jake Matthews in this game. You think they care about that? No. If anything, they licking their chops. Like, okay, somebody hurt, good. So that's how the Falcons got to approach every single game. We can't go in there like this is some type of, we got to have some sympathy for them. This is the pros. Next man up. So in this game, I want us to go in there and we should be licking our chops. If Mac Jones is out there and he can't scramble, oh good. Well, we coming for you. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset I want this Falcons team to have. I know that sounds harsh, but this is the game of football. It's a physical game. It's an intimidation type of game. So I want this Falcons team to get to the point where we don't care about what's going on. And that's why I said in that last game when we just played the Bills, I don't want to hear any excuses about their injuries. The Falcons supposed to win the last game because we were the more talented team. Like Mike said in this game, we're the most talented team. So I want us to go out there and make them look like they don't even deserve to be on the same field as us. I'm just being honest. That's how I feel about it. You can shake hands and be friends after the game. But when we get between them lines and they kick that ball off, I want us to go out there and dominate whoever it is that we playing. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
want us to go out there and have that same approach. Go out there and
Right.
attack, just like that's Josh Allen out there with the number 10 on for the 49ers or that number 13 in Brock Purdy. Don't change your game plan and say, well, this game, we don't have to. No, this game, you attack, just like you did last week. I want them to fear you, period.
Strapped up here saying, I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm taking every last one of you out. You make sure they remember.
Uh-huh.
And
That sounds like member
they
tights to me.
exactly.
That's my
Yeah,
move
yeah, I'm
right there.
about to, exactly. But that kind of goes into the blitz rate that this team has been on so far this season. I think they said they the highest in the league with over 56% blitz rate.
Like 56. Yep. That was the highest.
Yeah, so
That.
they're taking a lot of chances, and that's kind of different from what we've been used to because we're not used to seeing our defenses blitz at such a rate like that. So it it's a different change of pace, but it's working well for them right now. Yeah, BP, BP, there you go. You better hit a mother, hit a mother, hit them.
As
All
I
right,
said,
strapped up.
we need to be known as all gas, no brake Falcons. We don't pause, no calls for pause. Attack these guys. Period. All gas, no brakes. I don't care who you playing. I don't care if he's the third string, fourth string. You blitz. If that's what you do, and that's your identity, you stick to that. You don't deviate because of who they got playing.
Right. Okay. Strapped up said y'all be safe out there. So I guess he's about to roll out. All right, man. Appreciate you coming in, man.
Yes, sir.
Uh, that's another question right there. Michael Jarrell. As we know, Jay Matthews did go out with an injury, didn't return. So what did y'all think about Michael Jarrell?
Did exactly what he needed to do. That's your job as a professional. Whether you're the backup, your job is to step in and do it to the best of your abilities. And like I said, you're going against a very good team, and the Bills. They've been in the championship moments, uh, so you can't say that defense is trash or anything like that. Like, look, they was what a few snaps away from going to the Super Bowl. So like my thing is, man, like look, um, when you playing against very good teams, you got to step up and do your job. And I thought every that offensive line for the Atlanta Falcons, I think they stepped up. They did their job, and that's what you want. Like I said, look, my thing is, I know ain't nobody gonna work as hard as me and that's Falcons. Look, I know you. Look, it's very few people that's gonna work and put out as many videos that I put on, and I'm literally on air with one of them. Like Jew put out a hell of content, and I know ain't nobody gonna do as much as we do. Why?
Mhm.
Because this is what we enjoy doing. So it's like, look, you better put in that work. If you feel like you are the best defense and you feel like you want to go to a Super Bowl, well, you better be willing to do the things that other people not.
Right.
You gotta put in that. You can say it. You can say you're the best all you want to, but you gotta be willing to do it. If you're not doing it, oh, I love the game. I love it. But all right, where's the effort? Where's the effort? So I want to see it. I want to see it.
See?
I want to see you dominate. I want to see that you guys, you are improving as a defense. Oh, we gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. Well, they said they was gonna get it right. I'm starting to see them get it right. So look, you gonna shut me up? Please do it.
Yeah, you get an opportunity to shut one of us up, boy. Y'all better take that motherfucker. I'm telling
Mm-hmm. Please.
you. It's just that when you get to those situations where uh you have an opportunity to drive and instead of running the ball, you pass the ball 3, 4 times in a row, is the kind of stuff that
Oh
make
boy.
folks want to tear their hair out.
Mm-hmm.
And Jew would tell you that first string hand. if the hot guys are Bijan and Tyler, you feed them. You let the pass game come behind it. But if you're sitting here, you're consistently being successful with the run, and you sitting up here coming up with six passes, the next six plays are all pass plays. Where's the balance?
Dead again, K Styles. I just hate when teams like come to a game plan where it's like we getting ready to trick them. No, don't do that. Do what you do. Why we gotta trick somebody? The only time I gotta trick somebody is if I know that I don't feel like I can beat them. Did that make sense to y'all? The only time I go into something saying I gotta trick somebody is I don't legitimately think I can beat them head up. So now I say, well, I gotta do something to trick this person. Outside of that, if you know that you do what you do and you good at what you do, why you gotta trick somebody? I don't never understand when coaches do that. When they say, well, we gotta fool this team. Why? If I know that I'm stronger, my offensive line is strong enough to win every time. They can push down, up and down the field. While all of a sudden I'm saying, you know what? I know we stronger than these guys, but forget that. We're gonna try to trick them. That don't make sense to me. I never
Mm-mm.
understand. It's like that's called being too smart for your own good. And I feel like there's too many NFL coaches in today's game, instead of just doing the fundamentals and what works, doing the mundane over and over again. The Patriots weren't fun to watch. They was boring because they did the same mundane. Tom Brady was not fun to watch to me.
Over and
'Cause he
over,
did the
chasing the
same
ball down.
mundane, yeah, the same mundane curl route, hit the 7 yard, hit Julian Edelman over the middle, hit that Amendola, hit Walker over the middle, and they just fall down, get 6, 7 yards, do it again, you know, play action pass and hit you over the top with Deion Branch, come back and run the ball. Like they didn't do nothing special, is what I'm saying. They did the mundane, but the teams that do the mundane are the teams that are good. So that's what I'm saying. The Falcons got to learn once you've got that bread and butter, don't go away from it. That's what bothers me. It's like we'll find out something that's working. Like you said, Kay, the run is working. All right, well now that worked, but now let's trick them. I don't understand that. That's what make me want to pull my hair out right there, K Styles, is the too smart for your own good stuff. If you're stronger, just run the ball down their throat the whole game.
Stick to what you do best. That's all that needs to be said right there. Stick to what you do best.
This is
Oh,
what we do. Simple as that. You're doing too much.
exactly. Um, I don't really see any more questions in here. I'm about to say we can go ahead and start winding it down. Um, so Mike, let you go ahead and let you go ahead and finish it off with us for the evening.
I got my thing is, like I said, man, just keep improving. That's it. Shut us up. Shut me up. We want to see wins. We want to see growth. That's at the end of the day, as fans of the Atlanta Falcons, we want to see growth. I don't want to hear nothing about no potential. I want to see it. Okay. I want to see what you promised to do. Look, you can promise to somebody else. Don't promise me nothing. Show me. I don't want to hear none of that. All right. I want to say, hey man, one day I'm gonna give you $1 million when I get rich. All right, that sounds good. That really does sound good. Show me. Okay.
I always say, what's the catch?
That's it. That's all, kid. That's all I'm saying. Look, you can say all that about I need to see it. Look, I think we've all been promised enough. what what our nieces, nephews, kids. Oh, daddy, I'm gonna buy you a house when I get big. Oh, okay, baby. That's that. Thank you. Right now, I'm paying the bills. Okay, so I look. I'm focused. I'm focused on what needs to be done. And right now, the Falcons, um, they need to continuously find a way to get us sacks and wins, touchdowns. That's all I got to say about that. And that right there is the bottom line. Show me. Show me.
The teacher is always teaching the missile line. But as we say here, man, we definitely appreciate y'all. Like I said, once again, make sure you go and hit that Santa Claus thief channel or person. Um, we are sitting here waiting to see what transpires in this, and we could roast whoever did the robbery. So it look like um my bad, I forgot. I kind of had a blank off stare there for a second because I was trying to think what question I was gonna put up. Yet at the same time saw that interested me. They also asked what is Kyle Shanahan's weakness?
He's stupid. Next question.
Let me answer that for him real quick. It's the same problem with the Falcons. Itself. Who's the Falcons' biggest enemy? Look in the mirror.
That's
That's
it.
what being an enemy is.
Yo.
The Falcons' biggest enemy is they self. It's the same thing with Kyle Shanahan. His biggest enemy is when he look in the mirror and he beat himself 2 times in the Super Bowl, 3 times in the Super Bowl now, because it was 1 time with the Falcons and twice with the 49ers. His biggest weakness is himself. He don't trust that what he, like I just said, the what this whole little soliloquy I just went on about trying to trick somebody, that's Kyle Shanahan's problem. He don't think that what he does is good enough already in itself. Do what you do because it's good enough. If you got to the Super Bowl doing that, you can win a Super Bowl doing that.
All right. Like I said, like I said, I don't. That Mucho asked, "Are you satisfied with the tack right now?" They still missing a couple tackles here and there. Um, like you said, that's why they do have the mindset of an aggressive defense. So missed tackle is kind of going to be part of this.
Yeah.
The main thing is you want to limit as many of those as possible, which is the obvious thing to say. But but like you said, as far as you know, not like I said, the game tackling and the regular like I said, everything's been good. Um, I'm about to say, let's go ahead and wind it down, man. Like you said, heavy hitters. Think Juice stepped up. I think Baby Girl might have got him
Mm-hmm.
for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go ahead and step off of here, man. Oh, there you go. All right, all right, Juice, man. You got any final words for the folks before we get up on out of here?
Now y'all just stay tuned to the channel. I've been having I took during the bye week. I kind of took some time off during the bye week, but I'm gonna have content coming for you guys, consistently on the channel as usual. So, like I said, y'all just stay tuned. Make sure you guys share out the content. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys hit the hype button that they added on YouTube to help get it in the
Yes.
algorithm. That hype
I
button really
saw that.
helps. So first, you got to hit the like button. When you hit the like button, then the hype button comes up. Because my wife was asking me about it, like, how do you see the hype button? I was like, if you hit the like, you hit the thumbs up, then you'll see an opportunity for the hype button, which is like it looks like it gives you some type of points to get it into the algorithm. So you guys just make sure y'all support, continue to support the channels, but we're gonna continue to give you guys great content. And this is the time for us to support the team, man. Get behind this team because guess what? This team is proving everybody wrong. I don't know if y'all seen it, but over the last couple of days after that game against the Bills on Monday night. So they really starting to, you know what, kiss the Falcons, time pox. They starting to kiss our tail now, but it's like Bijan ain't just now doing this. He been doing this since he was a rookie. So them trying to praise him and saying like, "Oh man, this kid is special," and he had his moment on Monday night. He been having moments since the first time he scored that first touchdown when he dead leg juke Louvu for the Panthers, and I already knew, yeah, this kid different. So he ain't doing nothing different now than he was doing the last 2 years. We've seen this game in and game out. Bijan always doing something that's alien like. So the dude is special, but we got to get behind our team and support them and continue to, as I said in my last video, push out that positive content about we are the best kept secret in the NFL. We got so many guys that don't get the praise they deserve. The Caden Ellis of the world. Caden Ellis is a great linebacker because he played for the Falcons and we're considered a small market. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Devon Diablo. These guys deserve all pros, Pro Bowls. So hopefully, with us winning games, they start to get the accolades. Not only just us winning the games, but they start getting the accolades around the league and start to kind of get their names pushed out there a little bit more, so they can get the money and stuff that they deserve. Because these guys are really good players. So that's all I got to say, man. Is if nobody's gonna support them, we gotta continue to support our team, and we also gotta bring it to light that these guys are just not now doing this. They've been doing this.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like Drew said, man, y'all make sure y'all, y'all definitely make sure y'all subscribe to Drew Talk Sports. He is almost at the 3K mark right now, which will definitely be the next milestone for him. Um, like I said, Mad Mike Sports, the next milestone for him is 11, 11.4, and I'm going for 16. Like I said, man, y'all make sure y'all hit all those buttons. Like I said, let me know if you actually want videos or do you like the shorts and the lifestyle more so than the regular videos. So everything is gonna be dictated on y'all over here. So, hey man, till next time, people, we here to play.
No, no.
We here to stay.
Oh yeah, dig it.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you gotta get the heck up out of here.
So Falcons. And no, Mike, I'm not gonna say it right now, so we just gonna leave it at that. We out. Oh, yeah.